So you've just pulled a shiny new next-generation firewall out of the box. Right now, yeah, it's just a piece of hardware. But over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through the absolutely critical first steps to turn it from just a box into a real guardian for your network. Let's dive in.
You should really think of this thing as a brand new, top-of-the-line digital fortress. I mean, it's got all the bells and whistles, all the advanced defenses you need to protect your entire network kingdom from all sorts of threats. It's powerful, it's smart, and it's ready to stand guard.
But here's the thing. What good is a fortress, even the most high-tech one you can imagine, if the front gate is wide open and the key is literally sitting under the doormat for anyone to find? Well, right out of the box, that's exactly the spot we're in. And that brings us right to our first topic, the unsecured fortress. You see, by default, every single one of these firewalls rolls off the factory line with the exact same settings. This means it's got a ton of potential, but in reality, it's completely vulnerable. When you look at the defaults, the problem becomes crystal clear. That IP address, 192.168.1.1, everybody knows it. And even worse, the default login is admin. Come on, these aren't secrets. You can find them in the first chapter of the manual. So our goal, right now, is to swap out these generic, wide-open defaults for a unique address and some seriously strong private credentials.
So, that leads us to job number 1, our most important mission, securing the admin keys. Seriously, before you even think about doing anything else, you have to take ownership of this device and lock that front gate.
And you know what? The process is thankfully super straightforward. First, you're just going to connect your computer directly to the firewall's management port. Then, pop open a web browser, type in that default IP, and log in with good old admin/admin. The very next thing you do, the very next click, has to be changing that password. And this dialog box right here, this is where the real transformation starts. Changing this password is, without a doubt, the single most important thing you will do during this initial setup. This is you officially planting your flag and taking command of the fortress. Now, it's absolutely crucial to make this new password a strong one. The system itself actually helps you out by enforcing some best practices. You need at least 8 characters, a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, and at least 1 number or special character. And hey, here's a pro tip right from the documentation. Don't just stop with the password. Create unique usernames for every single person who needs to be an administrator. Okay, great. The main gate is secure. But what happens if the main network goes down, or if there's some other emergency? You still need a reliable way to get in and manage your fortress, right? This means we need to plan for a lifeline. This lifeline has a name. It's called out-of-band management. Just think of it as a secret emergency entrance. It's a totally separate, secure network connection to your firewall that completely bypasses all the normal network traffic. This ensures you can always get in, especially when things go sideways. Let's just quickly compare the two. Your primary access, well, it uses the main network, which of course can fail during an outage or an attack. Your out-of-band lifeline, on the other hand, uses a totally separate channel. We're talking an LTE modem, a serial connection, something completely different. And here's the kicker. It should be on a different power source, like a UPS, so that a power failure doesn't cut off your emergency access too. All right, so we've secured the front door and we've planned our emergency escape route. Now it's time to give our fortress an official address and actually put it on the network map. And this screen is where all that happens. We're back in the management interface settings. By giving it a new static IP address, netmask, and default gateway, we're taking it off that generic 192.168.1.1 street. You can think of the IP as its unique house number, the netmask as the size of its property, and the gateway as the main road it uses to talk to the rest of the world. And hey, while we're here, the source documentation has a critical warning. You see those little checkboxes for Telnet and HTTP? The guide is very clear. Make sure those are not selected. Why? Well, because they send your login information in plain text. That's like shouting your brand new, secure password across a crowded room. Not a good idea. You want to stick to secure options like HTTPS and SSH. Next on the list is DNS. Your firewall needs to reach out to the internet for updates and other services, but it can't just look up a name like PaloAltoNetworks.com all by itself. Setting up DNS servers is basically like giving your fortress a phone book so it can translate those names into actual network addresses. And one last little thing, but it's super important, synchronizing the clock with an NTP, or Network Time Protocol server. You see, when it comes to security logs,
Having accurate timestamps is everything. If you ever have to figure out what happened during an incident, you need to know exactly when it happened, right down to the second.
Now, after all that work, believe it or not, nothing is actually changed on the firewall yet. To make it all happen, you have to do one final thing. You have to click Commit. This is what saves your new configuration and makes it go live. So just be ready. As soon as you commit, you're going to lose access at that old 192.168.1.1 address. You'll need to connect using the new one you just set up. And just like that, our initial setup is done. We've walked the firewall through its most basic hardening process, and now it is officially ready for duty.
I mean, think about that transformation. In just these few minutes, we went from a totally generic, vulnerable box with a password that everyone knows to a secure, uniquely identified, and properly accessible Guardian that's actually ready to protect your network.
So the Guardian is at its post. It's secure, it's ready to go, which of course leaves us with the next big question. Now that the walls are up and the gate is locked, who exactly do we let in or out? And that, my friends, is all about security policies, a story for our next explainer.